Okay,
Hi.
hi. Welcome to It's a Cosmic Joke. We're going to start today with our ascension symptoms first, and then we'll do an energy update. Okay, so I would say my ascension symptoms since Friday, it started in my third eye. So it was like massive downloads in the third eye all the way back to where the seal chakra is. But they call it the Godhead too. Did you know that? And then the mouth of God, yeah. So it was all the way back here. And then by Saturday night, I just got completely slammed, and it was on both hemispheres of the brain, third eye, and then all the way back here where the Zeal chakra is. And I was like, at first, it wasn't pretty. It was like a big, I was like, whoa. I got sick, of course, because the nausea starts because your head's pounding, right? And
Yes.
then my body was completely vibrating, like just the cells are just vibrating. So I'm standing around. It's kind of really funny because I came across something that actually works, and you're gonna laugh. So I sat there and I'm like, all right, higher self, body, what do I need right now? So I got in honey and water. So I made that into a tea, hot, right? So I'm walking around and I'm like, breathing and doing my, all right, I'm going to let all this go. I'm releasing this all right now. I'm not going to drop down into fear. Everything's going to be fine. And I'm walking around like, give me something, give me something. So this is a Himalayan salt ball. No,
You didn't throw it at anybody, did
no,
you?
no. So I'm walking around the room and I'm like, give me something. Like there's like, come on, what's gonna work for my head? So I picked it up and I'm sitting there and I'm like, all right. So I just start rubbing it like this all the way back. And I'm doing this because I want to show people. Okay. So I started rubbing the third eye and then actually rubbing all the way back to where the Zeal chakra is, Godhead, whatever you choose, okay, going all the way down to the neck, trying to get to the spine, and then actually going, all the way around. And I kept doing that, and it actually works. I was actually amazed. I was really amazed by it. The pressure started going away. It wasn't hurting as too bad, I guess you would say, but I kept doing it. And then I'm sitting there asking my counsel, I'm like, do you guys do massages? Like, you guys can do everything else. I really need a massage right now. Like, I was like, I would do anything. And I'm like, sitting there, like, just down my back trying to get every nook and cranny that I possibly could of the spinal cord, because it's, the Zeal chakra, of course, is connected to the spinal cord. So the spine, you can
Yes.
tell that you're having, irritation, bumps, and then pulsing throughout the body up the spinal cord as well. And I'm just like, you guys can do everything else, but you can't just give me a good massage. Like, because you can literally feel the toxins, okay, that are
Yes.
forming
Yeah.
around the spinal cord. And you can actually feel the knots coming. And it's like, okay, I have to release these somehow. And if you don't have a partner standing around sitting there going, oh my God, or anybody to rub your back for you. So it was just an idea. It was kind of like, it'd be really nice if you guys could do that, because they're my crew. I was just standing there and like, oh, it was just burning in the back,
Yeah.
like right there, and where that chakra point, it was just like burning on fire. And I'm just sitting there, of course I'm laughing through it, and I'm just like, really, guys? Like, didn't I just go through this? Like, probably like almost like,
Oh,
what, 4 months ago? So they said it's a new upgrade coming through. And I was like, okay. So I was letting it, of course, keep happening, and, just trying to integrate it. But it lasted about 3 days. And then my universe ringing was just nonstop for five. I know we're going to get into this. Non-stop. I know you want to laugh. At first it was like me, and that started on Thursday night. And I'm like, oh, it's so cool. I was so excited because I listened to Lisa Brown, and I'm like, you're talking to me again. Yay. So I was listening. I was like, wait a minute, let me tune into this frequency. I really want to hear the frequencies going on. Then Friday, Saturday night, it's like, wah, like that. And I'm going, oh my God. I feel like I was telling you, I feel like Leo from Charmed, the white lighter, when he's being called up to the higher realms, you know, the ringing sound, and I'm sitting there going, what is it? What is it? And I'm like, I'm half dead. I'm trying to upgrade. I was like, I can't go answer any calls. Are you guys doing this on purpose at this point? Like sitting there going, wah, like at first, and I was like, it's my universe. And then my counselor's like, you're being called to the higher realms. And I'm like, I can't go. I was like, look at me. I was like, I'm literally laying in bed, completely wiped out. My life force was pretty down too. So I made, my deals. I say, you get in here and you fix and then I'll go look.
Doesn't work that way, but nice try.
I did. I was sitting there going, it was funny. And they're like, I call them the Arcturians. So I've been using them a lot for healing.
Yes, me too.
More than anybody else.
Yeah,
so that was my beautiful experience. And then it switches. So it went to the right side of the brain, sat there for a while, and then we did the upgrading on the left side of the brain. So, and it actually, for me, it went all the way down my ear canal. My ear started hurting, almost like you're having an ear infection. But I knew that's not what it was. So, of course, I'm sitting here walking around the house with my little salt ball, rubbing everything, rubbing here, and just doing self-healing as much as I possibly can. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. Solar plexus, big time, being upgraded right now, too. So they are calling it that we're getting upgrades where the Godhead is. It's basically the Trinity. So we're going back online, which we have been, but it's more, we're integrating it more activations for the cosmic divine Trinity, which is the original Vesica Pisces. So there was the fall, which they call it Vesica Pisces, and then before the fall is what we're going back onto, which is the cosmic Trinity. So anyways, what do you have?
Well, oh my gosh, you are so funny. Well, that was my first response when I saw this.
It's
like,
a
my
joke.
ears been ringing. I'm like, answer the damn door.
I know. You were like, answer it. I'm like, no. I was like, I can't. I was like, I'm not, I love my counsel, and I know, I told him, I said, I have all these avatar selves around me. Why can't you just send one of them? Why are you ringing me? Oh, what if they're just ringing for all of them? That just came through. Because I was like, you have all my multi-dimensional selves are actually, right here. Why don't you just get them? Why do you have to ring me? But it was, they told me it was fine tuning too, though. So they said that it's fine tuning on the right and left hemispheres of the brain, besides being called. Of course, I'm being, called because we have a massive hurricane that's coming through right now, and on top of other things. So, but they did say it was fine. It was more fine tuning, and that I'm going to have to get used to the ringing amplifying more and more. Now, somebody mentioned Titanitis on one of my comments, and it's really funny because I already got CAT scanned and everything else for all of that, and I came back completely fine. So I went to the doctors and everything for ringing in my ears. It's actually an ascension symptom. Whoever is, listening to this is my experience. Go to the doctors, get everything checked like I did, and just see there's nothing wrong with you. Then you pretty much know it's ascension symptoms. So, but it was bizarre.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with the brain and headaches, and it's kind of a back and forth for mine currently. The third eye is just like throbbing. I mean, it's almost like it's got its own heartbeat, its own throbbing thing, which is really cool. Like I was telling you, it's like I just kind of go, all right, that's really cool feeling. And then I just go deeper in meditation to where I always say I go so far in that I go out the other side, because it comes out to nothingness. It's like my universe. That's just the way that I do things.
Yeah.
And it's just a whole nother connection, I guess, of what's going on. But yeah, down through the back of the head and down to probably about, the mid back, where we've talked about again, the back part of that whole section from the neck to there is just I don't want to say it's painful, but I'm aware of it. I know that there's something going on, and you can just feel the electric pulses as it's clearing, doing, whatever, bringing everything back online.
Yep.
Yeah, the nausea, throwing up or whatever because of I think some of it's the pain, but then I also just think it's just a clearing. It's just our body gets rid of whatever it needs to in whichever way. Yep. So that's what it does.
My counsel actually told me to go. They're like, you need to go throw up. Like that's what when it gets that bad, they're like, just go. It's a cleanse. You know it. I mean, this isn't your first rodeo. You've been doing this for 6 years now. So you should know that if you're feeling like you're going to throw up, go throw up, because you're purifying. You're cleansing out. It's a part of purification. So, and then breaking out.
Yes.
Breaking out all over. You can see my new third eye right here. That's it. It's okay. So the breaking out all over, that's normal too. And then down the back, which is like, I never had that before, ever. Mine's been, I said about a year and a half now, which is you're detoxing.
True. So. And yeah, with the storm coming through, I mean, it's been an interesting week, I guess, of us here in Florida trying to wonder what was going on and having it sit, and the whole pressure of that, the physical pressure, not emotional pressure, because I never thought it was really much of anything, but the physical pressure of it you feel as well. And it got to where I was going, just thanking it. Okay, thank you for clearing, thank you for coming and cleaning whatever you need to. And I found myself just like everything that was from Florida that I could think of, it was like, and just pushing it out to the storm. And at first I thought, well, I don't want to make it bigger, because you think when you feed a storm, it's going to make it bigger. But it wasn't. It was starting to get smaller. And then I realized, okay, well, it doesn't have to get as big, because if the cleaning is being done, that's its whole purpose. It was a really weird thing to come to terms with or understand, I guess, because it was like the more that we are cleaning and sending everything to be cleared, the less that the storm had to do. Yep. So I was very grateful that we just kind of had a miss. There's another one coming, of course. There's always another one that's lined up, coming across. But the Carolinas are next from that. So
yeah.
So I think, again, if anyone, whatever work that we're willing to do to be able to clear, to clear for those around us, to clear the spaces, the land, the animals, all the rest of it, it's an assist. Then the storm doesn't have to come in and do it for us. So it's really this whole new understanding of energy is energy. And the work's going to get done in some manner. And if we as humans step up and do the clearing and do the things that we now know that we can do, then there's these other natural events don't really have to happen.
Sure.
So.
Yeah. They've been telling me, they're like, it's because I'm in the Carolinas now. So they told me, they're like, it's going to go off into the ocean. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. So, and they're like, it's going to die down. It's, they told me eventually it's going to die. It's going to die. Start to die down. So I didn't have an urgency of doing anything, if that makes any sense, like as far as preparing and stuff. And we're going to have some more, because there's always a few back to back, we have to November?
Usually October 1st, so it's really late in the season, but looks like Hurricane Alley is, amping up a little bit here to finish off the season. So
Hurricane Alley, that's kind of funny. That is your name.
That's what happens. It's just one makes room for the next one.
Yeah, and then of course I saw. Oh, that was pretty cool. Somebody posted a picture that there was like an auric field around it.
Yes, I saw that too.
And stuff like that. I was like, that's pretty cool, but unfortunately the Bahamas got slaughtered. So that to me is very unfortunate. And of course, like working with medical teams, because like that's what I call them. I have a high council that is called the medical teams. I was like, you guys are moving in, right? Like to go and help and assist as much as possible.
Yeah, so there's a lot of assistance there. Yes.
Yeah. So that's sad. There's other ones too that actually got hit, but there are other other countries, but for some reason they're not coming up on the mainstream. It's something that they told me too. So that's just another. I didn't really tune too much into that, but that's something that came in today. So that's definitely interesting too. And then I think that is there wildfires in California again?
I don't know.
No. That was something else.
I haven't kept up with any news for days.
Well, neither. When people ask me questions, and I'm like, oh yeah. Then what day is it? Like,
yeah, I know.
When I'm in quantum, I literally am in quantum realm. So it's either everything speeds up, the times and the days, or everything gets stretched and is, just will stretch out. Like the day seems so long, it could last for like 24, 28 hours or something. And then it could just be like, boom, blink of an eye, and it's like 4 days have passed. So it depends on like where you're fluctuating at, I guess, in energetics and frequency. So I don't pay attention to the news, and I'm barely on Facebook. I am trying to tune in more, and navigate through that. But like, again, my counsel told me not to get on it too much either. It's considered another, what do you call it? Addiction is what they say. Don't become like one of those. Sorry.
That's true. Well, the distractions, I mean, it's just a distraction, and it's just a way to keep you from doing your work that needs to be done. So you can get all your work done and, play a little bit at the same time. Awesome.
Yes. Yep. That was I didn't sleep it's been a week. I haven't been sleeping, barely. And the dreams are just off. They are just, I don't even think they're dreams anymore. Mm-mm. I really am in 100% because everything is in so much color. It's like literally as being like in the physical realm, and that to me is new a little bit. I mean, I've experienced stuff like that, but this is every single time now that I'm going to sleep. It's like I'm in a completely different.
It's funny because I just found out that,
or something like that. I guess you would say doing different timelines, or me multidimensional. So,
yeah. I just found out recently that people don't normally dream in color. I always have. I don't ever remember a black and white dream. So I just thought that was normal.
According to our medical scientists, that you're not supposed to dream in color. Did you know that?
Well,
yeah.
No.
I've been dreaming in color for forever, but this is more vivid. This is very, very surreal, I guess you would say. Like very.
It's energetic as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Energy frequency understandings.
Yep. So that's pretty cool. And it's lucid dreaming. I have a lot of clients messaging me about it too, but I also said, you have to understand that number one, you can be doing timeline collapses in your dreams.
Yes.
Okay. You could be working through karmic issues in your dreams. You can be doing shadow working in your dreams. There's, it could be a lot of things that you're working through in your dream state. So that's something that I've been having to tell my clients, that I'm like, try not to, and this is coming from me because I used to panic about my dreams, but I was like, just remember that you're probably just doing some working, even if how bizarre your dreams might feel. There's something symbolic that's trying to be, said to you. So.
Mm-hmm. And it's okay if you don't remember your dreams, because a lot of people are really working through some heavy traumas that there's no reason to even remember.
Yep.
It's just let it happen. Just let it do its thing. And
yeah. So that's another thing that has been coming up. So might have been pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lately, I was like, that's a turn, because when you're doing shadowing, they can be scary. So that's interesting. Let's see what else. Okay, so we're going to talk about twin flames. So my counsel wants me to talk about that. I know you're probably like, yay. So I came to this, epiphany, because I've had a lot of epiphanies in the last couple of days, or it's an upgrade that's coming through. It's a sacred union. It's the twin flames, but it's the twin flames that are becoming in union within you. we're going back to the whole, which is the Trinity. So I sat there and I was like, so we really don't need twin flames anymore. And that assignment actually has been cut off for a while now. That whole assignment has been done. It's been done, I would say, for about a year now, is what they're explaining. There are ones that are still working, but there's something new that comes into play, is that number one, my counsel wants to really touch base that everyone is a reflection of you. Okay? Everyone is your twin flame. Every union that you go into, every friendship, every person you meet it's a twin of you. It's a twin flame union. It's a sacred union. There's different levels there's the karmic twins, which, we've been through that. And then you have the heart-to-heart connections, or what's really coming online right now. And that's something that they don't even call it twin flames. They call it heart-to-heart connection. That's what they call it. So it's a beautiful, divine, sacred union. And you can have more than one. You can have more than one. So that's another thing that was brought to my attention too. But my epiphany was like, when I got the twin flame activation, you are your twin flame. You have a shadow, and then you have your light side. Okay, like the good wolf, and the white wolf and the black wolf within yourself. And I was like, so that was my epiphany. That's where I came. I was like, you are your own twin flame, literally. And it's taking those and then, merging them together to me. And I do the ultraviolet, which is like the purification into the whole. So that was my epiphany. I am younger than you, Allison. So you were like, you almost have it. And I was like, I'm getting there. But it's completion and fulfillment within yourself. So that's one of the biggest things. And I was like, so we don't need twin flames anymore. But they were also told me, they're like, but that assignment, like my counsel was like, that assignment was completely tossed out the window almost a year ago. There's the ones that actually made it and are actually working. And this could be number one in the physical, and then number two, etheric. You can work with them on the etheric realms too, in the highers. Thank you. They're correcting me. You can go even higher than that too. And you have primary twins. And then of course, that they want you to go into the split offs, Allison, and at least doing a brief on explaining that, where you have the primary twins and then you have the split offs. So you have multiple twins, you have multiple yous. So I'll let you take it from there. Well, that's what they were getting at. I was like, they're like, have Allison explain the split offs. And I was like, okay. So people have an understanding. You don't always have to be in a union relationship with your twin flames either. You don't have to be. You can be in friendship with them too as well. Or you could just be working with them in dream state, or you can work with them in the higher realms on the etheric levels. Go ahead.
The replicants, I just call them replicants instead of twins or anything else.
Okay.
When we were an original soul and they replicated themselves. And then, yes, from there, they replicated to a certain amount of whatever's allowed, so to speak. And that became our soul group. The twin flame theory, phrase, whatever it was, I can see how it came about. And I can see that someone thought, these are two sparks that, were inflamed when they came near each other. So they must therefore be a twin flame. And the concept in the beginning was to get us to understand that there is two parts. There's two parts of us. We each have a male and a female side. No matter what gender, whether we're male or female, there is a masculine, feminine side. And so the twin flame theory was allowed because it was showing us, even initially in our, dumb human state, all right, so there's a, male, female, and we have to figure out how to get these two to work together. So when that was happening, as we know early on, and the twin flames were coming together, it was chaos. I mean, it was people wanting, I love you so deeply and so unbelievably, but I want to kill you. Because it was like so intense. And so they talked about, there's the runner, there's the chaser, there's all of this stuff was basically just showing us within ourselves. And the thing about the souls within our soul group is all of us are here to help clean each other out. So when I have, like my wonderful husband, and he comes before me, it's as though it is pushing me to get at anything and everything that I've got within me, anything that is not of the highest. And so it's almost as though having this other high, the highest of the highest soul of my soul group that is incarnated, within this physical that I've come across. It's like just his presence and just being with him or talking to him or whatever is pushing every single trigger, every single button, every single everything that there is, just as a gift. I mean, it's as though I'm going to stand in front of you and I'm going to make sure that you are washed clean as snow, kind of thing. And that's the whole concept of this, us looking to the outer, because we've always, it's just the way we've done things until we've realized all of that is within me. And then when we finally get to a point of going, wait a minute, I'm masculine and feminine within myself. And so it's up to me to see where is my fight within me. If I'm having these triggered, reactions with an external masculine, what is my internal masculine doing that's causing me to do this? So we focus back in on ourselves to bring into harmony that masculine feminine. Man, listen to my throat. Oh my gosh.
You're clearing.
I know.
That's why they wanted you to explain. They want you to do some clearing on this.
So being able to come within my own unity, male, female, and my own joining and my own, coherence of the masculine feminine is actually what the greatest gift was. And then you realize, okay, so there isn't an external male, female that is going to give me anything. They're all there, like you say. I mean, it's a reflection, it's a mirror, it's a loving example on a soul level of what it is that I'm trying to get to. Yep. And that's why, I mean, even right now, the crew is saying for people, don't be in relationships. Don't start new relationships. Don't go, oh, I need to go be with somebody so that I can do my work. You can have your work done just by looking at every person around you. If you are triggered by anything or anyone, then you need to keep working before you go into that union, because the union on the higher levels is completely different than anything on the 3D. Oh, yeah. So anyone that is not in a relationship, that is looking to get into a relationship, I mean, it's like some big caution tape going on right now, because you need to make sure, if you're wanting a higher relationship, if you don't care, then you don't listen to us anyway. But if you're wanting a higher relationship, then it's like, do everything that you need to do within yourself so that you have no triggers, that you have no issues that are coming up, and allow the other person to do the same. Because even then, when you think you have no triggers and you're able to handle 99% of everything, as soon as this person comes before you or you decide to get into a relationship, you're both going to be triggered on what's left. Yep. And you have to be at the spiritual strongness spot to be able to handle that throughout the fifth dimensional energies. Yes. The other thing, I mean, it's like, I wish we could tell everyone, this is just being blunt, everyone on the entire planet, stop having sex. It has got to stop. You've got to clean out your root chakras. You've got to clean out the sacral chakras, and you've got to just get rid of all those old programs until we can somehow reteach and retrain people what the fifth dimensional intimacy is. Yes.
Which is actually very extremely similar. How do I word this? To the old ways of Tantra, because that has been tampered with purposely for thousands of years. Exactly. Yeah, they're like longer than that, but okay, millions. There you go.
Honestly, male bought into it.
Yeah. So they're saying old because we're remembering. We're not. This isn't new. This is we're remembering everything right now. So that's what's going to be coming back a lot. And there are people that are going to be coming out with the actual, the old ways, the returning of it. Okay. which are going to knock a lot of people's belief systems too. Okay. Because you can do tantra, complete tantra with yourself. You don't have to have a partner to do that. That's what people, that's number one of the old ways. You don't need a partner to do it with. You can learn tantra within yourself. It's actually a very beautiful experience too. And just, with you and connect there. You can do it with partners. They're actually saying there's other levels to the old ways, but it's very it's the way that the image that they show me, it's like cone heads. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Remember the movie Coneheads? It's vibrational. It's with energy. You don't have to. Yes. You don't have to have penetration.
Right. Exactly.
You don't. So these are all new. It's going to knock a lot of belief systems coming onto this old ways of tantra, which that's what it is. It's all vibrational energy. So that's the way that they're explaining, is that we'll be able to do it on an energetic level and then also through telepathy. Yeah. So, and this I know because I've been trained up in the higher realms of this formula, because my twin flame is etheric. So I work with my masculine side up in the higher realms, and I've been training with this dimensional masculine being for years now, showing me these types of techniques. So, right. And it's the higher self. He's a very high advanced soul, and I was able to train, which I was reading recently, that you have to get to a certain level, okay, during the ascension process to even access that.
That would make sense.
Did you know that?
It's a frequency. Yeah, it's a frequency.
To be able, and I actually read this recently, that you actually have to get to, it's a lot of spiritual initiations to even get to the level of working with your twin flame on that high level, which I was like, wow. I was reading that recently in a book. I have to find it. I was actually, it actually was a book on the violet flame that I read that in. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that's interesting. I was like, I didn't even know that. So,
but another belief system, because in the olden days, it would have taken more specialness than what we're able to access now as well.
Yes. So, everything is just like completely energetic, but you have to pull, everything just has to be completely pulled out. And just
like everything must go.
Yes. Everything has to go. You can do it within yourself, and this is where I feel like this activation came through with the twin flames. I call it the ignition of the twin flames, with sacred union within yourself. I believe that we're being given a chance, who is receiving these downloads, to actually do it ourselves, like you were saying, and get through these triggers ourselves. That way we are ready for the higher relationship, or to actually get rid of all the triggers altogether.
Right.
So we're not triggered anymore. So this is a huge step up, like big step up. This is what I felt, and I was like, wow, okay, this is pretty big. So
I know.
I was like, this is amazing. Like, I was sitting there going, woo, like, awesome.
Me too.
And as far as if you're in a twin flame union, or karmic twin flames, or you already are with your heart-to-heart center partner connections or connections, and it could be female and female, it could be male and male, it could be male and female, it doesn't matter. Something that really wants to get across is everything is being done to basically, suck everything out for you to look at. If you could at least acknowledge that. And then the next thing that really needs to be expressed over and over, it's a gift. You are given a gift. If you made it to, even if it's karmic twin flames, or if whatever type of twin flame union label that you want to say that it is, they're all gifts. Yeah. It's a gift. If you can honor it as a sacred gift and respect it as a sacred gift, your relationship is going to get a lot better. And hopefully it'll be two of the people actually hearing this, but both sides is what I would say, that are actually really listening that you are given something that is so sacred that some people will probably never find or have found it, and then the connection is completely cut off, and then they won't come into union with them again. Okay? So if you are still with your twin flame, honor it. It is sacred, because there's people that, you know, don't ever, are not able to get to this level or to be able to have this encounterment in either which way, in the physical, or they have met them and they completely disappear and drop off, you know. So that's something that I really want to express, me from personal experiences that I've had. You know, if I would have known what I know now, to honor, it's sacred. The fact that you're even in that type of union, it's beyond sacred, and it's a gift, and you should honor it. And I believe male and female, or whatever partner you have, is going to, you know, I hope that really gets out to whoever's listening and whoever's going through this, is please honor it, respect it, value it. It's of the most highest teachings, you know, it's beyond pure and unconditional love. If you could just see past the ego, God's sakes, just, you know, see through the ego and love each other. Like, seriously. Because I see a lot of, I see a lot of I see a lot of people talking about it all the time, and the things they say, and I'm like, have honor for it. It's sacred. Because when you're talking so negatively about it, or you have such a negative ego approach to it, you have so many lessons you're going to keep learning. Like, you have to look and see where you're unconscious at. And you are way unconscious if you're sitting there speaking any type of ill terms about your twin whatsoever. And that's from both sides. So, and that's just how I feel, but it's from personal experience, and I've done the same. So at least I could look at myself and being like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You really need to get rid of these programs, you know. And I needed to find honor, and I needed to find respect for that holy union. It is a holy union. That's what it is. Doesn't matter if you have one or two or three or four of the unions, because they have like the different levels. Is what they were showing me. You could have karmic, and then you could actually have the heart-to-heart connection. If you don't honor it and you don't respect it, it drops away. It really does. So.
And then you get to learn your lessons with people that you don't really care for, when if you had just buckled down, dropped your ego, you could have worked it through with somebody that really loved you and was willing to put up with whatever needed to be through the whole process. Yeah. You're still going to learn what you need to learn, but, you know, are you going to learn it where you are? Or are you going to walk out and get it 20 times more over with different people and different situations?
Yeah. And then there's ones there are relationships that aren't that great too. And if they drop off, it's probably just for that time being. You know, there's a lot into play. There's usually one that's really awake, and then there's one that is, there's the one that's like sleeping, and then you usually have the one that's really awake, and that usually happens with the twin flame union. And there's also a lot of narcissism too, but you have to understand that we are programmed coming in here on narcissism. So everyone has narcissist traits. Okay. And that is something that I don't, people can fight against it, but we all have narcissist traits. We're programmed with them from small children growing up. So those are a lot. I see a lot of those relationships as well. And that's what another thing my counsel gets into is that you attract your own frequency as well. So if you're attracting, narcissists, is something you need to go look within yourself, and you need to clear out as well, because that means that there's traits within you, or genetic too. So there's, you have the genetics as well. Those are things that a lot of things that also are coming up. So, we're going to go, looping back, because we loop. The one.
No, we don't.
If it's non-linear, we loop. So, so we're going to go back to when the one is more awake and the one is more sleeping. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
it's probably the most hardest thing. And I've experienced this on two different, from my experience, I've experienced it on two different levels. Being the one sleeping, and then there's one that's more awake. And then there's the opposite, where I came into a karmic twin, I was way more awake and he was sleeping and waking up. So, and just going into this, if they're not ready, they're not ready. And that's just what it is. And you're not ready either. Sometimes too, you know, look at the lessons, see what's there. If it's not, you know, working properly, go in and clear as fast as possible what is being pulled up, because it doesn't matter if the person's still there or not. All your stuff's going to keep coming up, especially if you're the person that's more awake. You'll still get triggers, but go in, release the programs, and let them go completely. It's really hard to sit there and walk away from that type of union because it's so strong. Either one of the unions are always going to be very, very strong. Just giving them time. If you're more awake, you have more awareness and you have more consciousness. You're in a higher consciousness. You should know, just let them be and let them work through their stuff. And when they rise and when they wake up, you can. And then as you're sitting there clearing, which we'll go into that, Allison, as you're clearing, they're clearing too. As you're sitting there clearing yourself, you're helping them. If the relationship doesn't work anymore, or they drop off, or, you know, you have a disconnection with them, keep clearing, because you love them unconditionally that much. Keep clearing for them, because as you're clearing yourself, they're clearing too. It's a push and pull effect. So, I mean, that's something else. Just keep doing it and keep going, you know, and you'll fall up and down into depressions too. That's another thing with the union as well. Go into the depression. Don't sit there too long, you know, just clear everything out, because depression is also a form of releasing as well. So, right. But that's something, you love them so much, and we love our soul group. Eventually you'll get to a certain point, you'll be clearing for the whole soul group. So,
exactly. Yeah. And that's why it also comes to the importance of, like you were saying, of not talking bad about your twin. Because again, if you're
talking bad about yourself.
Well, true, yeah. But by complaining and arguing and, you know, and talking about, well, they did this and they did that and all the rest of it, basically what you're doing is you're just reprogramming the bubble around the two of you, which is more to clear. So it's like, just stop. Okay, that's done. What do I need to do now? How do I need to look at it differently? What can I clear to assist them in being lighter, which also allows me to be lighter through the whole process?
Yep. Yeah. And it will come up. You'll have you'll have the programs running, I want to blame, or I want that, it'll start coming in the ego, and those things will start coming up.
Yes.
Once you look and you acknowledge those stories and those type of programs coming up, that is awesome. So just take it and clear it, and just try to get rid of it and say, nope, I'm not believing in this. I'm not writing on this story anymore. Let it go. When you keep seeing it come up, and if it's like massive, that's really good, because they'll be like, oh wow, it's really coming out right now. Look at this. I feel like I have the strength of 12 gods. I'm gonna go and just because that's what they do. Yeah. And it's beautiful. It really is. It's beautiful. God, you want to get triggered? Go get triggered by your twin flame and you'll see where you're so unconscious at. But let it come out and feel the emotions, feel the anger, feel the I want to triumph. Exactly. And it's okay to feel all those things. Let it go though. And once you have awareness and you acknowledge, and then you can just let it go and just be like, okay, nope, this doesn't serve me anymore. But feel it first, and then say, okay, this doesn't serve me anymore. And then don't keep writing on the same stories, because it'll keep coming up.
Right.
And it can be heartbreaking at first. It can really hurt you, or it's amazing and beautiful all at the same time. Because when you feel all that come out, and you can feel that surge of energy coming, And when you go to release it, and when you have complete awareness that this is just like an old programming that's running, and then it just becomes a beautiful experience after a while.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's what I think. Anybody else is going to be like, shut up, Brittany.
Brittany's on a talkative mood today. Look at this. Awesome.
I know. I have been though. I've been coming into a lot of things. I'm getting more in touch with my goddess energy even more. Allison's probably like, great.
Always.
You're probably going, this is going to be interesting. No, I'm just kidding. I have to though. It's something that I realized that I need to, because I was riding on more masculine energy than I was feminine energy, and I have to balance the two. So going within and doing a lot of inner work. And okay,
Yes.
God, to me, the inner goddess also can make you confident. So that solar plexus work, and then really speaking my throat chakra. So I have a lot of programs that we're writing in the root chakra, and then also, you know, in the sacral, and then in my solar plex that really I've been doing good work with, and then trying to speak. But today, like the past 2 days, when I'm trying to say like words, it's like it's not coming out right. And I'm sitting there going, what is that? Like I can't even speak this language anymore. You know, I was like, this is, you know, it was funny. My guys are laughing. I was like, why can I, what? So I feel like the throat is being upgraded today too. So
Absolutely.
Expression. Yeah. I'm expressing myself more.
And it's all a side effect, I guess, because last time we talked about the hearts coming online. Mm-hmm. And so as the hearts obviously expand, once they've gotten their good center, what's affected? It goes up to the throat and down through the solar plexus. I mean, it's like, it's just going out. So these were the first two that were going to get the biggest hit. Yep. So if you're coughing, I mean, I'll find myself just coughing or choking, you know, like, wait, I'm ready. Why am I choking? What is this that's going on here? Or losing my words, or like you say, just it's like, it's not really a brain issue. It's like I can't formulate what word I'm trying to think of, you know, kind of thing. And
if I could speak to everybody in energy,
yes,
I would. If I could speak my language 100% all the time, I would. We used to, at least where I was from, which is, I know I lived here. So it's like, but energy, which is, it's in a sense, it's telepathy. That's something that we're going on to. I don't care. We are telepathic beings. We always were. We got shut off, and that's it. It's the same as the knowing when you know that your best friend's about to call, or somebody's going to message you, or when somebody's thinking about you, when you feel somebody's presence, or you start thinking about them. Majority of the time, they're thinking about you. That's telepathy. We're really going online with telepathic abilities and very strong telepathy right now.
Absolutely. And even to the point of feeling other people's pains. I mean, if we're into the same, I don't know, same soul group, same family, and it's like I can be, because I just found that out when I had my hip issue, you know, on the left side.
Yeah.
When I was at my sister's over the weekend, she at the same time had been having right hip pain, and I went, how is that? We hadn't even talked about it. I mean, we hadn't talked, so it's like, how is that even possible? But this recognition of, again, with all of the familial clearing work that I'm doing, it made absolute sense that my sisters would also be going through some type of genetic clearing because of the work that I was doing.
Yep.
So it was like, that's awesome. Sorry for your pain, but you know, hey, we got this.
We get to a level where we can feel our whole soul group.
Yes.
And we could be clearing for them as well, but we can feel them in the heart center. We know when ones are struggling. And even if you don't know them physically, you'll be working with them in dream state. You'll be helping them in dream state. That's another thing. So okay, fine, I'll go into it. You want me to go into it? My counsel's like, can we explain this one? This one's gonna be good.
Go for it.
Being in somebody else's body, etherically, is something that they want to touch base on in the dream state. There are a lot of us that experience being etherically, or you can say astral projection, in somebody else's body. Okay. Now, it could be you across all time and space, or it could be somebody that you're helping, which most likely is a part of your soul group too, is what they're explaining. Now, that's actually a very, very high level experience, because you're actually stepping in with the essence of your soul to help another person, and it's resonating. Okay, give me a second on that. So you're actually helping them on a soul essence level. And I used to kind of get freaked out and not understanding what I was doing. Sometimes I'd be saving people and I didn't understand, what I was doing. But I realized later on that some of those people that I'm actually stepping in to help or assist are actually a part of my soul group too, which are off in different countries. So that's another thing. I don't know if you want to touch more technical base on it.
You did a very nice job. Because again, when we step back and look at all of the higher selves, all of the me's that are from, under my oversoul group that are concurrently living in whatever space and time, they do interchange. And we've all had, it's all the same soul. It's like people need to understand the soul and the higher self the higher self is like a fragmented bit of the soul, that comes in and assists you at any given point. The higher selves do move around. They are, because all of us have had it sometime where all of a sudden it's like, wow, I have no idea why now I like Egyptian stuff and I like, Moroccan food, and you go through this whole switch of like completely redecorating, changing your clothes, changing your hair, doing everything different, and you're like, I don't know what happened. Well, most of the time it's because a different higher self has stepped in to assist you through whatever you're going through or whatever was going to be coming up in this section of your life. So yes, when you can see yourself being in another's experience, which again may have been why you got the 3-day call where you didn't answer the damn door, where you were needed to go assist someone.
So they knock out my brain? Come on, Allison. That's why I was like, really, guys?
Well, but you have to look at it the other way too.
That was an upgrade. They're going, that was an upgrade.
It was an upgrade.
That was an upgrade.
And we know at times that when the physical body is going through a particular thing, like when I was down for a week and unable to even, move, how much more spiritual I was able to do, because I didn't go into resistance. Okay, the body's, my human's having some issues now. My human's going through whatever it is. So I'm just going to do my thing and allow the human to kind of deal with its own whatever physical thing is going on. So sometimes a lot of these ascension symptoms for the physical form are a mastery point of, can we allow our physical forms to go through what they need to without it stopping us from doing our work?
Exactly.
And sometimes the answer is yes, and sometimes it's no. But that's okay.
Listen, I feel like I literally told it, I was like, I feel like I'm Leo in Charm, and it's going, Ree! And I'm like, who is it? I'm just sitting there running around, go, which is it? Who is it? Is it? Hold on, let me sit and meditate. Who needs me right now? I really felt like it was more calling for my sister too. So, if anyone can always give her some healing right now, that's definitely what she needs. So I thought maybe it was that, but it was like, no. And then eventually they were like, so are you gonna answer the call? And I was like, I'm in bed. I'm literally can't move right now. My body's buzzing, and I'm rubbing a salt ball on my forehead. Okay.
Well, and for people who don't have salt balls, I use the Epsom salt. I love the Dr. Teal's. That's my favorite brand because it has the different flavors, different smells. Because there's a lavender or whichever ones. And I'll do the same thing. I'll take a handful of the Epsom salt and just rub it over my face, through my hair. It's not gonna hurt. It's just salt. No, so it's funny that
I do the same thing.
And then make sure I do all down the front through all my chakras and clear it. That's just kind of a daily thing that I've gotten in the habit of doing anyway. So don't worry if you don't have salt balls, okay? Just grab the salt.
My new friend, it works. I was sitting there going, oh my God, you really work. Like, I was like, this is great. Thank you. New higher self that's probably coming in. Because you were like live, you'll have a new higher self coming in. And I was like, this must be the goddess energy flow higher self that's like, really setting in. All right, you need some help with this? I'm gonna help you.
Which is nice. Yeah.
Yes. So they call the ones that are actually able to do these as far as in the dream state and helping their soul groups, and then also helping them on a soul essence level, they're called new age mediums. So these are actually new abilities that are coming on. So
another label. Great.
I know. So it was pretty.
Yeah.
But that's it. And then they also were talking about doing in the etheric realms. They don't call it sexual intercourse because it's not what it is. That's something else that they wanted me to touch base on. So it's on the astral plane, but they call it more the etheric levels in your dream state when you're actually having encounterment with either I would say, I guess you would say other types of other etheric humans. Anyways, they're explaining once that starts happening, it's kind of like an evolution process, and some people are going to get freaked out. So if you're married or you're in a relationship and you're having dreams about, having, sexual encounterments maybe with somebody else, it's an evolution process. It's something they wanted me to touch base on. Then try not to freak out, because in a sense it means that you're evolving instead of just thinking you're supposed to be with one person. So that's something that
and the energies are not necessarily even attached to a human form.
Yeah.
It's the energy. It's not like you're thinking of another person. It's just the energy of the whole exchange. Yeah.
Yeah. It could be higher dimensional beings that you actually have been in relationships with, across all time and space, different planets, different galaxies. And you could be having these encounterments too with these type of beings, or a being as well.
Most of what my crew has said is it is you coming to you to teach you and retrain you on something. So it's like, don't be afraid, because what it is they're attempting to remind you of what you already knew to help pull you out of the lower dimensional sex ways of doing things, because it's energetic.
It's all energetic. There is no the closest word that they can do in human form is penetration. Okay, that's not what it is. They give me, they keep giving me the cone heads scene, but it's like it's energy based. It's literally you're taking your souls together and you are mixing, and how do you do it? It's a push and pull. Okay, but it's on an etheric level, so it's not sex of what you think it is, and this is what we're going on to. It's kind of like a reminder of what it used to be, and it does feel like pure, it does feel like pure ecstasy, or like a huge orgasmic, and even the orgasm is different too. So that's something that you're resonating each other's, thank you. They're like you're resonating each other's souls together. It's soul essences that you're rubbing together. Okay, so that's a whole nother level. Try not to freak out when it first time you ever encounter, if you ever encounter something like that too. So it's really funny because you're like, it's you coming to you, which is also could be you would be also primary twin. So it could be your higher aspect of a primary twin that's coming, which is you anyways, because we're all one. So, and it could come in masculine form, or it could come in female form, and you could be a female, and it could still come in a female form. So it doesn't matter how it comes, or male to male,
Yeah.
Especially if there's a straight man and he's having dreams of, never mind. I'm not gonna. then that could be hard for him too. You know, I go, wait a minute, what's going on here? But it's just think of it as you're evolving. That's what they want me to say. So it's a form of evolution.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go on that.
Yeah. They wanted me to touch base on it.
Yes.
I was like, I hope I don't get any backlash because of it. I said, oh well, I mean it's the truth anyways. So
it is, and the sooner that we can get people to understand that the three-dimensional sexual program that has been, you know, through magazines and through everything else that, you know, the media of the attractions to whatever. I mean, it's all manipulation. It has all been to especially keep the male from evolving.
Yep.
Because they didn't want the masculine forms to evolve into the ascension process. And the easiest way to do it was through sex.
Yep.
Sex and football, you know, sports. It seemed to be the easiest thing. What can we do to completely distract them so that they will not do any of their work? Well, yep.
And it worked. The male is actually not even supposed to be ejaculating as much as he is either. It drains their life force.
Exactly.
And that's also, you can touch base on that, but that's something that is shown to me too.
The different studies I've done on that, I think it's 10 times a year where men are actually allowed to ejaculate. It depends on the weather and the seasons and where you live and all kinds of things like that. But men also need to learn, just like we've talked about with the Kundalini switch of you pull that energy up through and back it down to your center. Yep. Because that's to regenerate your organs, to regenerate your life force. And, you know, the running joke of men are always so tired afterwards. Yeah, because you just depleted your life force. You just killed yourself, in essence, by that act. So yes.
And women can also do the same too, as far as pushing the orgasm up through
absolutely
the crown and then looping it to the solar plexus. It's the same. The women can actually do the same as well. Their life force is not drained by orgasm like the man's is. That's getting into something else. Since we're on that topic, do you want to touch base on the women during the ascension process and why it's kind of like crucial that she doesn't have sex with just anybody?
Sure. Part of that has to do, again, I mean, we have to be able to clear out fully and completely the root and the sacral chakras, and without the interference of the external. And women, we do put a lot of energy and emotion into a sexual relation. Mm-hmm. Most of us, I can't see everybody, but okay, I do. And so it becomes, you know, knowing that person, giving that person everything that I am. And we have to understand that, again, being energy beings, that being with someone in a highly emotional state is mingling our energies. And it is accepting anything and everything. And especially if, well, we're talking about ejaculation, I mean, if we accept any fluids from another male, then we are actually taking on their DNA. We are then mixing their DNA, their energetic structure, all of their baggage, all of their traumas, all of the everything. We have now just brought it into us. And if we're not aware, and if we're not able to remove that, to transmute that, and willing to work through that, we're hurting ourselves. And so it becomes this real consciousness of, we have to make sure that any interaction energetically or sexually that we have with someone, it really has to be on a spiritual level. It has to be on a soul to soul level. Not that any of us are yet at that perfect, I'm pure and wonderful. We all still have whatever baggage that we still have. But going into the situation in that recognition that this person may have this, I may have this, and with our interaction, I may start to exhibit trends of what his issue is, and he may start to exhibit trends of whatever my issues are. And instead of getting upset and angry and mad at the triggers of it, be able to go, okay, I can recognize and see We've brought up a whole nother level because we were at that deep, deep connection point that, okay, this is more stuff for us to look at, to work through, and be able to do that in a space together. So again, that's one reason they were saying at the beginning of this of, don't get into relationships right now unless you are absolutely 100% willing and able to deal with your triggers. You know how to deal with your triggers. You're able to work through anyone else that is triggered so that it's not this combative, because we can't have that. I mean, it's not beneficial from that standpoint.
Yep, exactly. And you'll also be, you'll be clearing on massive levels of that if the other person has, especially the female, if they have a lot of programs, let's say running, I'm going to say old programs or traumas or anything, and if
abuse.
You're abuse too, or other stuff, it's in thought forms, too as well. You will be taking in on all of that, and then also you'll be having to clear all of it on like a huge, massive level, and constant clearing on it. So being aware, and it's really, it's very interesting now that I know why I wasn't, I didn't have a sexual relationship for years, for 4 years. And now I completely understand why. At first I would sit there and be like, oh, what the hell? I'd ask my counsel, but I experienced what it's like to sit there and go through a massive cleansing of clearing when you're in an encounterment with someone that's not, has let's just say a lot of programs that are running, and when you experience that, you're doing clearing as well. It depends on how aware you are. I'm very open and aware, and doing that clearing as well, which I was just like, wow, now I kind of have an understanding why. And then something that me and you were reading recently by Lisa Renee, which that just goes into the woman's fluids and stuff, too, as well, as being really potent. And that's the reason why also that during the ascension process, majority is why they don't have those type of encounters. It's because of how potent the fluid is. I was like, wow, okay, now I have an understanding. So
yeah, they can go crazy. On the energetic level as well, I think it's important for people to understand, as we, like, if we point out someone or lust after someone, or have whatever emotional feelings towards a stranger or a magazine or TV or whatever it is we're watching, our energies are automatically sent to that person, that image, and it becomes detrimental to them. And so as women, we've also gone through that of, like, having men stare at us, or women, or whatever it is, and it's like that energy of their creepiness, I'll just say, comes to us, and it's something else that we have to clear. And it's really been we understand why a lot of these girls keep getting younger and younger on acting out, and it's like they're getting that energy. They're getting that energy from so many different people around them, that it becomes this programming of either what is expected of them, or this energetic bubble of this is how they're supposed to act, this is what they're supposed to do. And that, again, is the conscious awareness of stop projecting onto anyone and everyone. I mean, we really have to back off and be aware that I'm responsible for my energy. And if I'm upset or attracted or whatever to anyone else, I can't send that. I can't, because we don't know how that's going to affect energetically another person by being bombarded with excess energy, especially if they don't know how to deal with it, how to clear it, what to do with it.
Or learning just how to being full responsible for your energy. You don't have to be completely closed, because you want to be open, and also in in your sexuality too, because that is a part of the divine feminine too, as well. But it's a new upgrade. So we're relearning everything. We're going back to the old ways, which is, it's not going to be the same third dimensional type of
creepy
program. It's not. It's on a completely different level. Like your cells are going to vibrate.
Yeah.
Like literally, when you're with this person and you're having
it's loving glitter, you know.
Yeah, you're literally going to go into a euphoric state right away, and your cells are going to be vibrating in your body like brrr, like you'll be able to feel it. Your feet will be vibrating. Like you'll know when you're in a higher partner relationship, because every cell of you is going to sit there and be vibrating, you know. Which is, it's just beautiful. You go into euphoric states, you know, just big time. Time passes by really fast. It's a beautiful experience, as long as you keep it a beautiful experience.
I know, and don't drop it down into, you know,
you know, that keeping it as having fun and happiness, and not dropping it down. Personal experience. So for my next one, I'll just be like, you know, whenever that is, but I don't see anything coming, but I'll know this time. So it's like, you know, don't drop it down. So I had fun. That's it.
Hey, straight up and the way that it is. That's how we are.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Yeah, people are really gonna love this one. But it's the truth. So let's see. Is there anything else, Allison, that you want to talk about?
People are being upgraded quite a bit, and again, it seems to be in multiple areas. So if it's like one day you're feeling tearful over, you know, losing a parent, and the next day you're tearful over something else, and then something else, and it's like these random, I mean, it really has been quite random. So no, you're not crazy. No, you know, it's not that you have to stop and try to figure out what the first one was about to go to the second one, to go to the third one. It's just like, okay, fine. These are like just little bits of things that are coming up, and we just allow it to be.
Yeah, it's going to be, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was gonna say, a lot of people also are feeling the need to be healthier, to eat better, to drink better, you know, to have better water. And that's been really cool to see as well, that people have really stopped back going, you know, I need to make some changes. Something needs to be different here, and really doing some extra work on themselves, on having that personal love for yourself, for your human.
It's giving yourself unconditional love, and really focusing on yourself and what you want to do and your goals and your accomplishments. There's going to be huge quantum leapings. I mean,
October.
I know, until October, to the point where I'm sitting here going, I don't know, I'm wondering where I'm going to be by October. I mean, these are going to be massive shifts, because I literally downloaded 26 downloads within one day, and I was like, wow, okay, this is going to be a major month. We're going to be doing some serious quantum leaping, quantum jumping this month. I mean, put on your shoes, get ready for the weird bipolar scenes, or you know, the ups and downs. You know, get ready for that, I call it, because
I know.
we're going to be clearing on mass levels, and all the clearings that you're doing is for you to move and quantum leap to your highest path. So when one day you're feeling like you're sky high on top of the world, and you like, I'm in the new earth frequency, and woo, you know, just like really flying high, and then boom, it goes to go down here, and you're crying like a baby, and you don't know why. Like, you know, why am I crying? Why is all this stuff coming up? Why do I feel like this? You're clearing. So you're gonna go like this. You're gonna go up, down. I call it the bipolar scenes, because that's exactly what it feels like. You're gonna be going up, down, up like this, but it's to get you to your highest path. So if you just recognize it and clear it as fast as possible, see it's there, don't sit there too long, really try to work it out, really try to break it down. Where is it coming from? Where is it stemming from? And move it out as fast as possible. I feel like I'm a coach. Move it, soldier. Like, don't sit in it too long, because this is the reason why you're going through this, is because you're quantum jumping. If you clear, your higher self's going clear like this, like vibrating, clear, and then go, whoo, get up high now, boom, clear, whoo. Like, I feel like it's like, that's what it is. I can see where it's going to be coming, and it's just going to be like, phew, and you could be like in a different country by October.
I hope so. Yeah, I mean, I'm going, okay, the book is published, everything is well,
Yeah.
and I'm back home. That's like, yay, that's my,
Yeah.
I so love that. Well, and you're right, because the way that I see it too is because as you're raising in frequency and you're pulling in more light, it automatically will kick up what is lower and needs to be addressed.
In the lower
so
chakra.
It actually, it's like it readjusts a little bit down so that you can look and take care of this. And it goes, okay, that's clear, let's go higher. And then it's like, oh, okay, here's some more. And then you go higher. So in the downtime, I mean, you think of it as keep that momentum going, because you don't want to stay down here and go, okay, well, I can't go as high. It's like, okay, to get to that next high level to keep going, it's just a pit stop. Okay, fine. Quick pit stop. Let me take care of whatever needs to here so I can keep jumping and jumping and jumping.
Yep.
And so get higher.
It's going to be massive, massive shifts. I mean,
yeah.
That's what I'm being shown, and you're being pushed to do a lot of getting things accomplished and getting on your highest path. You're going to move. So a lot of people are going to be experiencing also timeline collapses, huge changes all the way around. I mean, once again, like last month, environmental changes. If you are still stagnant and you're still in a place where you're not supposed to be and you know it, you are going to get the rug pulled from underneath you. And that's what's going to happen. So just start making the changes. And if you want to really know what those changes are, start looking within. So it's going to start within. So if you can start doing it within, that's when the external changes as well. But that's something that was really being like expressed to me, is really go within. Well, because I know I've had so many times where the rug just goes like that, and it's great and it's beautiful, because if those things didn't happen, even when I was so upset when it did, it wouldn't be where I am right now. So I'm very happy and very grateful, and look at it from a different perspective. But yeah, that's something that is really being expressed right now, is that it's going to be major quantum leaping, and it's going to be hard on an emotional level. It's going to rock your world, and that's something that is but everything, it's supposed to happen for the best. It just
the more triggers you can clear out now that you don't have to take with you in the chaos when it happens, the better off you'll be.
Yeah. Now
you are where you are to work through what you need to, so work through it, get it done, because when it's time to be moved, and you will be moved, you don't have to carry and be given a different situation to relearn what you should have already learned.
Yeah. It's like, now these are just things that we're pulling through. It's not going to be just for everybody. Not everybody is going to experience these things, so it's not 100% definite. But something that was completely given to me is that if you are okay with change and get used to change, then it won't rock you as hard as the other ones that have. Just get used to change. Everything just completely changing from one day to, and literally from probably one day to nanoseconds to the next. So if you could just get used to that and not, what would you say, just kind of like you kind of give up all your dreams, because you could have new things that are coming in that are even better than what you even came up with. So I
was forced to. I mean, that was forced from that standpoint. My crew would tell me, get rid of all dreams. Any dreams that you've ever had, get rid of all of them. Because again, it's like you've been keeping them alive with your energy by still carrying them forward. There's so much that needs to be revised, changed. They said, just get rid of it. Just drop it. And and the more that you're able to accept change every moment, every day, it just constantly, it gets to a point where there really isn't change. It's an odd conundrum. It's like, because you become so used and accustomed to change that it no longer seems like it's changed, because you're just used to, this is what life is. This is what the moment brings. This is what I'm to do in this moment. And you really let go of, well, that's not what I planned for today. Oh, well. This is what's happening now. This is what you're doing. So it becomes this mental thing of, the more you're willing to just say everything changes, I'm okay with change, you can change constantly, then it's no longer even an issue.
Yes, and it won't rock you as hard either. Like it won't. And if you know that you're stuck somewhere and you're stagnant, and if you are in complete awareness of it, if it's environmental or whatever it is, and you know it has to change, get it changed. Change it.
That's,
instead of the it's you're basically your higher self going, well, I'm just gonna collapse everything around you, so you're going to get out of this situation.
Exactly.
And it'll keep happening until the big shebang. So, and if it's not of your true and authentic highest path, and you are in the ascension process, that is it. Unfortunately, I would have to say, that is what's going to happen. But everything is going to be for the best, and you are supported. And then once the dust clears and you sit there and really look, you realize, I'm okay. And I have something better and great coming along. And that's something that you just have to always try to stay as positive as possible. So everything happens for a reason. Everything's divine timing as well. So.
And I think that's why I got to where I want to see everything. If I've got a program running, if I've got some habit that I'm doing, if I've got whatever it is, I just want to see it. Because it's like, I would like to have the ability to make adjustments to it, to acknowledge it, to be working through it, instead of just having, kicking and screaming pulled out of it. It's like, can I at least, know that this is going on, to have some awareness and try to help myself? So.
Yeah. Which is
that's
really,
me.
I know. Deep looking within. That's what I call it. But sometimes you don't see things, and then you have somebody trigger you for you to be able to see, and that's okay.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, yeah,
it's beautiful. At this moment in time, you're maybe not.
But I've gotten to where I'm not mad at that person. I'm almost mad at myself that I didn't see it. How did I miss that? How did it not, come to my awareness before? So,
like, oh my God. I sit there going, oh wow, this is a good one. Like,
I know, me too. How did I not see that?
Oh, my feathers all fluffed up. But yeah, it's like, this is good. Thank you. Yeah. So this is great. It shows you where your unconscious at, and just look at it as a gift instead of, a curse, I guess you would say. That's an old belief system. Anyways, I think that's it for today. I do. This is a good one. I think we might have been talking for a few hours, but yeah.
Yep. It's a long one, but hey, we covered a lot.
We did cover a lot, yes. And we love you very much. And thank you. Okay.
Bye.
Bye.